Hello everyone, welcome back to my AP Calculus class. I'll keep explaining definite integration examples. I solved 3 examples last video, so I start from example 4. Let's start. Example 4, integral x dx over 2 minus x squared whole and cubed from 0 to 1. So I'll solve this problem. I want to use substitution. Which part is gonna be u? 2 minus x squared is equal to u. So this equation is gonna be changed in integral 0 to 1 x over u cubed times 1 over u prime du. So u prime is negative 2x, derivative of this u part, negative 2x, right? So 1 over negative 2x du, and then this x cancel out. Negative 1/2 is coefficient. Integral 0 to 1 over u cube. So u to the negative third power du. And then find that integral of u to the negative third power. N is negative 3. By the power rule, 1 over n plus 1, which is negative 2, times u to the negative second power. What was u? u was 2 minus x squared. So negative is positive, right? This part is going to be 1/4, positive 1 over 4 times 1 over 2 minus x squared whole things square from 0 to 1. Plug in top number for x first, right? Plug in top number. So 1 over 4 times 1 over 2 minus 1, which is 1 square. So 1/4 minus plug in 0, 4 x. So this part is going to be 1 over 4 times 1 over 4, 1 over 16. So which is 16 over 4 over 16 minus 1 over 16. So final answer is 3 over 16. This is the answer. So for the u substitution or integration by part or partial fraction, any kind of integration doesn't matter. Find the indefinite integral first and then plug in top number minus plug in bottom number. That is the how to solve definite integration. Let's go to example 5. Example 5 problem. It is tangent inverse, right? Because the formula is this: integral of 1 over a squared plus x squared dx. That formula is 1 over a times tangent inverse of x over a. So this is exactly 1 over x squared plus x squared form. What is a? A is 3 because 9 is a 3 square, right? So integral 1 over 3 square plus t squared dt, that equals by the formula 1 over 3 tangent inverse t over 3. Then what is the lower limit and upper limit? From 0 to 3. So plug in 3 first. 1/3 times tangent inverse 3 over 3, which is 1, minus 1/3 times tangent 0. Tangent inverse 0 over 3, that's 0. Tangent 0 degree is 0, right? So this part is gonna be 0. Tangent inverse 0 is 0. This will be gone. And then what degree of tangent of what degree angle is? 45 degree. In radian angle, pi over 4. So the part is 1/3 times pi over 4. Tangent inverse 1. That means tangent of pi over 4 is 1. So pi over 4. So pi over 12. This is the final answer. Let's go to example 6. It is u substitution again. I will let 3x minus 2 become u. So that is integral u cube times change dx to du. How to? 1 over u prime, which is 3 in this case. 3x minus 2 derivative is 3, and then du. So 1/3 times u cube, n is 3, so 1 over n plus 1, that's 4, u to the 4th power, plus c. What was the u? U was 3x minus 2, right? And then it was definite integration from 0 to 1. So plug in 1 first. 1 over 12 times 3 minus 2 is 1. Then minus, plug in 0 for x. 1 over 12 times. If x is 0, negative to the 4th power is left, right? That's 16. So it is negative 5 over 4. This is the final answer. Number 7. Number 7 is use substitution as well. So I want to make negative x squared become u part. So in integral x times e to the negative x squared dx, I want to make indefinite integration first. Because integral x times e to the u power, I'll change dx to du. How to? 1 over derivative of u part, derivative of this part, negative 2x, du, and then x and x cross out. So it is a negative 1 over 2 times e to the u powers plus c. What was u? U part was negative x squared. And then that's 0 to 1. Plug in top number, negative 1 over 2 times e to the negative 1, negative 1st power, 1 over e, minus plug in 0, negative 1 over 2 times e to the 0 power, that is 1. So what is the final answer? Then e, okay, one more time. That is negative 1 over 2e plus 1 over 2. So what is the common denominator? 2e. So 2 times e, 1 times e. So I'm going to make 2e as a common denominator. So e minus 1. This is the final answer. Number 8. Cosine 2x. So what is integral of cosine 2x? Cosine's integral is sine, but this part is u part, 2x part is u part, right? When you change dx to du, you have to change 1 over 2 du, right? So 1/2 came out, and then cosine 2x integral is sine 2x. That's indefinite integration. And then plug in top number pi over 4, and then minus plug in bottom number, negative pi over 4. So 1/2 times sine 2x, x is pi over 4, so pi over 2, sine pi over 2, minus 1/2 sine negative pi over 2. Sine pi over 2 is 1, so it's 1 over 2, and then sine negative pi over 2 is negative 1, so this part is negative 1, so negative, negative, positive 1/2 again, so final answer is 1. Okay, what about example 9? Example 9 is not use substitution. This is BC only part, integration by part. What was the formula to find the integration by part? Integral u prime v is equal to uv minus integral u v prime. So this is x part is polynomial part, that is v part, and then e to the x is u prime part. So what is v prime? V prime is 1. What is u? U is derivative integral of u prime, which is e to the x. And then use this formula, uv, which means x times e to the x minus integral uv prime, that means 1 times e to the x dx. So x times e to the x. Integral e to the x is still e to the x minus e to the x. That's the indefinite integration. To find the definite integration, plug in upper limit number 1 and then minus plug in negative 1. So that is equal to 1 times e to the first power minus e to the first power minus plug in negative 1. Negative 1 times e to the negative 1 powers minus e to the negative 1 powers. Okay? So what happened? This part is 0. First part will be 0. And then negative is positive, right? So positive 2 times e to the negative first powers. So 2 over e. 2 over e is the final answer. Two over e. Let's go to number 10. Number 10. Okay, I give you indefinite integration formula about arc sine. Integral 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared dx is arc sine, sine inverse of x. That is exactly just arc sine formula. So sine inverse of x from 0 to 1/2. Plug in top number, sine inverse of 1 over 2 minus sine inverse, plug in top number, which is 0. So sine of what angle is 1/2? Sine 90 degree, which is pi over 2, right? So pi over 2, pi over 2 minus, I'm sorry, 1/2 is not pi over 2. Okay, sine of what angle 1/2? Sine 30 degree, right? Sine 30 degree is 1/2, which means pi over 6. So sine inverse 1/2 is pi over 6. And then sine 0 is 0. So sine inverse 0 is 0. So your final answer should be pi over 6. It is just a formula problem. Number 11, integral ln x plus 1. What is the formula ln x dx? It is x times ln absolute value of x minus x plus c. Got it? That's why indefinite integration of this function is x plus 1 because it's ln x plus 1, not x. So just use x plus 1 because derivative of that part is still 1. So dx equals du. So you don't have to use substitution, just use x plus 1 because that derivative is just 1. And then ln absolute value of x plus 1 minus x plus 1 plus c. But that number doesn't matter. Yeah, any constant doesn't matter for definite integration because it's we plug in top number first and then minus plug in bottom number. That constant is gonna be crossed out, so it doesn't matter, right? Just x is enough, and then plug in top number e minus 1 and minus plug in bottom number 0. If x is e minus 1, e minus 1 plus 1 is e, ln e minus 1 plus 1 is e. ln e is what? That's 1. I'll change that to 1 later. And then minus e minus 1 minus plug in bottom number 0. 1 times ln 1 minus 0. ln 1 is 0, right? ln e is 1. So just what is left? Just e minus e and then plus 1 is left. E minus e is 0. Only 1 is left. That's the final answer. The final answer is just 1. Okay? Okay, I'm done here today because for the next video, I keep solving this example problem from example 12. And then I keep solving about 2 or 3 more videos to explain how to solve that definite integration problem. Thank you so much for watching my video, and then please click subscribe and like and turn on the notification. Thank you. Bye-bye.